Ezemvelo Nature Reserve is about an hour away from Pretoria and an hour and a half to 2 hours away from Johannesburg, depending on where you're coming from in Johannesburg. So it's completely doable to come here just for a day hike, although there are several different accommodation options, including camping and chalets, and there is even a hiker's hut style of accommodation. There are 3 hiking trails at Ezemvelo Nature Reserve, a 5 kilometer, a 15 kilometer, and a 21 kilometer. All of them start from the same place. When you drive into Ezemvelo Nature Reserve, you will pass the starting point of the hiking trails, which is clearly signposted. Although there aren't lions and elephants in the Ezemvelo Nature Reserve, there is quite a lot of wildlife, and you do need to be a little bit careful. Wildlife is wild, and any wild animal can be dangerous. Don't go and do something stupid like walk up to the animal. If you want to see it up close, use binoculars or the zoom function on your camera. The trails are marked with blue, yellow, and green footprints. The blue footprints are for the 5 kilometer trail. The green footprints are for the 15 kilometer trail, and the yellow footprints are for the 21 kilometer trail. Maps are available at reception, and I would recommend that you do get a map, just in case you run out of footprints and you're not 100% sure where you went wrong. Definitely make sure that you bring enough water with you and a hat, particularly if you're going to be tackling the 15 kilometer or the 21 kilometer trail. There are long stretches where there's no shade, and it can get really, really hot, and the only water available is going to be at your starting point. Because there is wildlife at Ezemvelo, I would recommend hiking in long pants, or at least checking yourself pretty thoroughly for ticks after your hike. If you are coming out to the Ezemvelo Nature Reserve, then I do recommend that you bring whatever you want to eat and drink with you from home. There is a small little shop here, but it's just got some very basic necessities, and there is no restaurant or anything like that. All of the trails have some slightly rocky sections on them, but the most technical rocky section is on the 21 kilometer trail after you pass the river camp or hikers accommodation. The section just after the river camp or hikers accommodation is also the section that I find the most overgrown, and the section where you might have to look a little bit more carefully for the yellow footprints of the 21 kilometer trail. If you're not feeling like hiking, then there are a couple of other things that you can do at Ezemvelo Nature Reserve. There is a small little putt-putt course close to the reception area. There's also a really lovely, enormous swimming pool, which is great after a hike as well. And you can also go and do a self-drive game drive through the game reserve, which is nice when it's a little bit too hot for hiking. I have not stayed in the chalets at Ezemvelo Nature Reserve ever, but I have twice stayed at the campgrounds, and I quite like the campgrounds. The ablution facilities are not pristine, but they're clean. I'd say they fall on the good side of average. The one thing that I will mention is that you need to be really careful about vervet monkeys, because they are around the campground and they do like to try and steal food. So make sure that any food or rubbish that you have is packed away somewhere where they definitely cannot get to it. They will try to go through your tent if you leave food in your tent. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you'd like to see more from me, then you can click on my channel name to see videos that I've made in the past, or you can subscribe to my channel to see videos that I'm going to make in the future.